WWE made a big mistake with Rhea Ripley. In this video, we're going to be discussing it because it looked like Rhea Ripley was on her way to WrestleMania. It looked like Rhea Ripley was going to be defending the Women's World title, and then WWE all of a sudden threw us a curveball. So let's set the scene for a minute. She becomes the Women's World Champion yet again on January 6th, beating Liv Morgan on the Raw on Netflix premiere episode. It was a major, major deal. She then pivoted and went into a feud with Nia Jax. They worked a Saturday Night's Main Event match. It was solid. We then had to wait because it was going to be Charlotte Flair or another competitor challenging Rhea Ripley for a Women's World title. Ultimately, Charlotte Flair wins the Women's Royal Rumble match and opts to go after Tiffany Stratton. That leaves Rhea Ripley without an opponent at WrestleMania. So what do? Well, they book Elimination Chamber. And it was a star-studded field. I'm talking Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Roxanne Perez, all of which are worthy contenders for the Women's World title. Ultimately, Bianca Belair wins it, and it sets the scene for her and Rhea Ripley. Unfortunately, though, WWE, they opted to book a title match between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw. Okay? March 3rd episode of Monday Night Raw, to be exact. And in the main event, and when they booked the main event, I go, that's interesting. Now, Rhea Ripley, she's a mega star in my opinion, so, and it's a women's world title match. Good for them for getting the main event spot. But I also thought when they initially booked this match, well, that's weird. Why would you do that? Because Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, A, the fans have called for it. B, both stars have called for it. And C, outside of them working in NXT and multi-women matches, they've never gone one-on-one on the main roster. It's a big deal. It's a dream match, if you will, because they're both hitting their strides in a major, major way. And so when WWE booked Rhea Ripley to face off against Io Sky, and then in the closing moments of this match, Io Sky reverses a Riptide into a Hurricane Rana and then hits a moonsault off the top rope, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. Well, I think I was a lot like you, and I was stunned. I was shocked, and I did not see it coming because everyone figured, okay, we have Bianca Belair. Not only did she win the Elimination Chamber, not only did she secure a championship match against Rhea Ripley or Io Sky for the Women's World title at WrestleMania, but she was sitting right there watching everything unfold. And it was Io Sky pinning Rhea Ripley, setting the scene for Io Sky to defend now the Women's World title against Bianca Belair. It caught everyone off guard, and it made people question, what are we doing? Now, this is not a knock on Io Sky. She is now a Grand Slam champion in WWE. Okay, she is the seventh or eighth person to ever do so, alongside Rhea Ripley and Asuka and the Four Horsewomen, and she is also now the very first ever woman to hold both these, be a Grand Slam champion in WWE and in Stardom. But at the same time, WWE made a big mistake, in my opinion. And as good as Io Sky is, as a worker and just a likable human being, I also think you have to look at stats. You have to look at star power. Is Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair a bigger match than Io Sky versus Bianca Belair? 1,000%. Rhea Ripley is a megastar. Io Sky is not. Will she ever become a megastar? I highly doubt it. Do I hope that she does? 1,000%. It helps the company. It helps us. It's just a win-win. But as it stands right now, in March of 2025, Io Sky is not the same star power as a Rhea Ripley. And so if you're going to go to WrestleMania and you have the opportunity to book Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the Women's World title, then I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair every single time. It's a bigger match. It's also a dream match for a lot of people, because you have to keep in mind, in NXT, Rhea Ripley, she had not even become like a top star yet in NXT times when she worked with Belair. And Belair was still a top star in NXT at the time, but I don't think she really hit her stride until around 2021. And I don't think Rhea Ripley hit her stride until 2023. So we've never been able to see these two go at it in their prime at the right time, in my opinion. Now, we could sit here all day. I could complain about this decision all day, and it's hard for me to do so because I am a huge fan of Io Sky. I think she is a top tier talent and someone who always puts on great matches. So instead of, oh my God, the world is ending, how do we fix this? This is what I'm thinking. Okay, I'm speaking out loud with y'all. Let me know down in the comments area below whether or not you agree with me. So Brian Alvarez had mentioned on Wrestling Observer Live Monday that outside of the John Cena heel turn, there was a lot more twists and turns along the way for WrestleMania and the WrestleMania build. And people started speculating, well, what does that mean? Well, I think we saw maybe the twist and turn or a twist and turn in terms of the build to WrestleMania, with Io Sky beating Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title and now defending it against Bianca Belair. Here's where I think WWE is going with this. You're obviously going to have Rhea Ripley on the card at WrestleMania. She's one of your biggest stars. You're not going to leave her off the card. And there's not a clear-cut direction for her. Now, they have two options. Option A, which I think is the least likely scenario, she just enters into a feud with pick a name, and she beats pick a name at WrestleMania. Okay? That's option A. Or what I think is most likely to happen, what I think would be the right call to happen, is you would have Rhea Ripley exercise her rematch clause or earn her way back into the mix with a qualifying match, a last chance match, maybe beat Bianca Belair in a non-title or in a match, or beat Io Sky in a non-title match. I don't care how you get there. There's 1,000 ways you can get there. And you make it a triple threat. And you have Rhea Ripley, and you have Bianca Belair, and you have Io Sky all go at it in an epic three-way at WrestleMania for the Women's World title. Reportedly, that's what WWE is going with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. They're going to work a triple threat. Is it ideal? No, but you have to get those guys on the card somehow. It'd be more ideal to have Seth and CM Punk in a blow-off, or CM Punk and Roman in a first time. I don't know if it's a first time, but at least in this current age, it would be. So they're not opposed to doing triple threats. We'll see if they go forward with the triple threat, but that's the way I would book it. I think a lot of people would agree with me in that. I think that's the right way to go about it. We're going to find out. We're going to find out if they agree with me or not. We're going to find out whether or not WWE opts to go with that. I think it's the right call, but we'll have to all wait and see what WWE ends up